The fire pit asterisk. The sky above was dark purple, filled with slow-moving clouds and strange flying creatures. The jungle was alive with sounds, deep growls, soft whispers, and something that sounded like drums. In the middle of a small clearing, a fire burned high. Around it stood tall alien figures with painted skin and sharp bones hanging from their necks. Their glowing blue eyes reflected the flames as they chanted in a language not known to Earth. Tied to a thick wooden pole was a woman, bruised, weak, but still breathing. Her name was Dr. Alatan, a scientist from Earth. Her clothes were torn. Her face was covered in sweat and ash. She coughed, trying to speak, but the smoke filled her lungs. The tribal aliens danced slowly around her. One of them carried a long, sharp blade made from some alien metal. Another poured glowing oil on the ground beneath her. She closed her eyes. She was going to die. Suddenly, ... Everything stopped. The chanting, the drums. Even the fire seemed quieter. All eyes turned toward the edge of the clearing. A human man stood there, calm and quiet. He wasn't wearing armor, no guns. Just a dark jacket, black boots, and a coffee mug in one hand. He looked completely out of place. Too clean. Too calm. The aliens growled and pointed their weapons at him. But he didn't move. Instead, he took a sip. The woman blinked. Who are you? The man stepped forward. He didn't look scared. Not even a little. I'm your ride out of this barbecue, he said. The lead alien let out a loud, angry roar. The others started shouting. But the man pulled something small from his pocket and pressed a button. Boom. A loud sound came from behind the trees. A flash of light. Then another explosion. The aliens turned their heads. In that moment, the man ran forward. He pulled out a small blade and cut the ropes from Ayla's hands. Can you walk? He asked. Not really, she sighed, her voice shaking. He didn't wait. He threw her arm around his shoulder and started moving. Behind them, the fire roared higher. The aliens shouted in anger. Spears flew through the air but missed. More explosions. The forest lit up with strange blue lights. The man ran fast, holding her tight, dodging trees and roots. Who sent you? Ayla asked between breaths. Long story, he said. Let's just say Earth still cares. They reached a large rock that opened like a door. Inside was a small cave. He placed her down gently. I'm Ethan, he said. Ethan Riker. Ayla, she whispered. Doctor. Ayla Tan. I know who you are, he replied, pulling out a small scanner. We picked up your distress signal. It led me here. Though I wasn't expecting to crash into a roast party. He gave her a small water bottle and a light pill. Drink this. It'll help. She drank, then looked at him closely. You're alone? She asked. For now, he said. More will come, but I couldn't wait. Signal was weak. Time was short. She nodded. They were going to kill me. They think I stole something. Did you? He asked, raising an eyebrow. She didn't answer. Ethan looked at her, then checked the scanner again. We have to move soon. They'll come for us. Wait, Ayla said. You don't understand. The thing they think I stole ... It's not just alien tech. It's dangerous. If Earth gets it, Ethan cut her off. Save it. We'll talk once we're in the clear. Suddenly, a sound echoed through the cave. Click, click, click. Ethan turned. His eyes narrowed. They're already here. The mission. Ethan's eyes scanned the cave walls, his grip tight on the small plasma pistol he had hidden in his jacket. That clicking sound, it wasn't from the tribal aliens. This was something else. Something mechanical. He leaned closer to the scanner. The screen flashed red. Unidentified signal, non-organic. Ayla sat quietly against the rock wall, still. Weak but more alert now. That sound, I've heard it before. It followed me for days. Ethan turned. You didn't mention that. You didn't ask, she said, with a faint smile. Before he could reply, a dark figure stepped into the cave entrance. It wasn't alien, it was metal. 7 feet tall, black armor, glowing red sensor eyes, arms built like weapons. A drone? No, too smooth. Too advanced. The machine spoke in a cold, robotic voice. Return the prototype, now. Ayla's face turned pale. Ethan looked at her, then slowly stepped in front of her. No prototype here, Ethan said casually. Only some half-cooked barbecue and a woman who really wants to go home. The robot's arms shifted into 2 pulse blasters. You have been warned. Boom! Ethan threw a flash charge at the floor. The cave lit up in white light. The robot stumbled, blinded for just a second. Enough time for Ethan to grab Ayla and dive into a narrow tunnel behind them. The cave shook as the robot fired into the walls. Keep moving, Ethan shouted, holding her wrist. Where are we going? Ayla shouted back. Anywhere but here. They emerged into a jungle ravine. Above them, strange alien birds flew in flocks, screeching. The moon was bigger now, glowing green in the night sky. Ethan tapped a small device behind his ear. Orion, respond. Extraction compromised. Hostile AI present. Only static replied. He cursed under his breath. Of course we're on a jamming field. They kept running until they reached a waterfall. Beneath it, Ethan revealed a hidden cave with a small camp equipment, food packs and something that looked like a large antenna. Who are you? Ayla asked, finally catching her breath. Ethan checked the antenna, adjusting wires. Special Ops, now a freelance asset under the HFY initiative. HFY? Humanity, F******. Yeah, not exactly official, but we handle off-book missions. Rescue, tech recovery, and cleaning up the kind of mess Earth pretends doesn't exist. Ayla stared. You were sent to find me? No, Ethan replied, turning toward her. I was sent to find this. He pulled a small hologram chip from his jacket and activated it. It showed a glowing object, a silver orb, floating above a ruined temple. X-52 prototype. Codename, Godspark. Ayla stepped back. You shouldn't be looking for that. And yet, Ethan said, here we are. Flashback begins, mid-story twist. A week earlier, Earth orbit. Ethan sat in a briefing room aboard a hidden HFY spacecraft. The commander, a woman with a metal arm and a no-nonsense tone, showed him the same hologram. Alien tech, powerful enough to destroy a planet, she said. Dropped into uncharted space during a failed trade-op. A science vessel tried to retrieve it and went dark. That was Dr. Tan's crew, Ethan realized. Exactly. We believe she survived. But something or someone has kept the tech hidden, and we've got reports of a third party hunting it down. Ethan leaned back. So you want me to babysit a scientist, stop a war, and pick up a god-level weapon? The commander smirked. You always wanted excitement. Back in the present, Ayla sat near the fire, silent. I didn't come to steal it, she finally said. I came to destroy it. Ethan looked up. The aliens here, they're not primitive. They're old. Ancient. That tech doesn't belong to us. They told me what it can do. I saw it. She paused. It changes reality. Ethan frowned. You mean like time travel? Or, no, she interrupted. It doesn't move through time. It rewrites it. Ethan went quiet. Even in his long list of crazy missions, this was new. And now that machine, whatever it was, wants it, she added. Which means someone back on Earth knows what this thing can do. Suddenly, the antenna sparked to life. Ethan checked. It signal incoming. Not from Earth, from above. His eyes widened. Something's entering the planet's orbit, he said. He activated the HOLO-feed above the planet. A large ship uncloaked. Not tribal, not Earth-made. A sleek, dark cruiser, no flags. No IDs. Mercenaries. Damn it, Ethan muttered. They beat us here. He looked at Ayla. We're not alone on this mission anymore. And if they get the God Spark before we do, then reality won't look the same tomorrow, she whispered. Ethan loaded his weapon. Time to move. The trees were breathing, not in a poetic way, actually breathing. Big, thick trunks with pulsing bark, slow and steady like lungs. The air around Ethan and Ayla was heavy, like it didn't want them there. They moved fast through the jungle under a dark red moon. Above them, hidden behind clouds, the mercenary ship hovered, almost silent, like a monster waiting to strike. Ayla whispered, "We're being watched." Ethan replied without looking back, "That's not paranoia. That's just a fact." Behind them, the strange mechanical clicking started again. Not just one sound this time, many. Ethan suddenly stopped. "We're not going to outrun them." He pulled Ayla into a narrow hollow under the roots of a massive glowing tree. "Quiet. Don't breathe too loud," he said. Ayla ducked beside him. The space was small, wet, filled with the smell of soil and something sharp, like hot metal. Then they saw them. Not the tribal aliens. Not the robot from before. These were different. Tall machines, walking like spiders, long metal legs, smooth black surfaces with no eyes or mouths. But somehow they still looked at everything. Three of them moved past slowly, scanning, hunting. One stopped, its head turned, directly toward the tree. Ayla gripped Ethan's arm. The machine tilted slightly, then moved on. They waited. 5 minutes, 10. Then Ethan finally whispered, "They're not just hunting us." Ayla looked confused. "What do you mean?" "They're scanning the ground, deep, looking for something." Her eyes widened. "The God Spark," Ethan nodded. "They don't care about us. They want the weapon." They moved again, this time slower, following an old trail of alien stone markers. Ethan noticed symbols scratched into the rock, similar to Earth numbers, but twisted, backwards, like time itself was warped. Eventually they reached an open cliff. Below them was a valley, and in the center, a broken alien temple, half covered in roots and vines. "That's where I found it," Ayla said quietly. Ethan scanned the area, too open. "We'll get picked off before we step inside." "I buried it," she added. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "You what now?" "I buried the God Spark," she repeated. "I knew they would come. I used the alien tech here to hide it. The temple systems helped me." Ethan sighed. "You're way smarter than you look. I'm a scientist. And I'm just a guy with a gun and a really bad attitude." They shared a small smile, then a sound, a different sound, a cold, low hum. A dropship was coming down. The mercs had arrived. It landed hard in the valley, sleek, dark, and armed. The side doors opened, and men in heavy armor walked out with big rifles and no patience. Ethan pulled Ayla back behind a rock. "This just got worse." She looked nervous. "Do we run?" "No, we go in." "Are you insane?" "Usually," Ethan said with a grin. "But this time we do it smart." Cue the cool plan montage. "Yes, we're going full sci-fi tactical." Ethan opened his backpack. Inside were 3 EMP grenades, a hologram projector, a climbing rope, 1 plasma knife, and a tiny AI drone shaped like a dragonfly. "Say hi to Sparkle," he said, launching the drone into the air. "Sparkle?" Ayla raised an eyebrow. "Don't judge, she bites." The drone zipped off to scan the area while Ethan attached climbing rope to a tree. "I'm going down the back cliff," he said. "You go around the far side. When the shooting starts, you get into the temple. Find the spark. What if you don't come back?" Ethan paused. "Then don't waste the second chance I gave you." And just like that, he jumped down the cliff and disappeared into the mist. The action begins. The mercs were scanning the temple ruins. One of them waved a detector over the stone floor. "Beep, B-E-E-E-P. Bingo," They found something, but just as they began digging, boom! An EMP grenade went off. Lights flickered. Comms broke. Who the hell? A merc shouted from the side. A glowing Ethan emerged like a ghost, firing 2 plasma shots. One merc went down. It's him. Take him out. Another yelled. They returned fire, lasers flying in every direction. Trees exploded. Stones shattered. Meanwhile, Ayla slipped into the temple from the side. Inside it was dark and warm. She followed her old markings, drawn in chalk and alien ink. She reached the chamber. The god spark was still there, a glowing silver orb, floating an inch above a carved stone pedestal. It hummed softly. Alive, waiting. Her hand shook as she stepped closer. Back outside. Ethan was running low on ammo. 2 mercs surrounded him. Nowhere to run, hero, one said. I'm not running, Ethan replied, and triggered the final grenade. A blast of light knocked both mercs flying. He limped toward the temple, blood on his leg. Breathing heavy, Ayla. He shouted, we gotta go. Inside she reached for the orb. As soon as her fingers touched it, flash, a vision, time folding. Earth burning, people screaming, Ethan dying. Her standing alone with the spark. Then silence. She gasped and stepped back. Ethan stumbled in. What happened? I saw the future, she whispered. If we use this, we end everything. He stared at the orb. Then we make sure no one ever does. From outside, a sound. The machines were back, the spider walkers. The drone. Leader, they were all coming. Ethan picked up the orb. Plan? We don't let them leave the valley. The betrayal. The temple was falling apart. Ethan and Ayla stood near the altar as dust rained from above. The god spark floated quietly in Ethan's hands, a glowing orb of silver light, pulsing like a heartbeat. Outside, the jungle shook. Spider walker drones stomped through the trees. Mercenary boots crunched across alien ruins. The storm was coming. We don't have much time, Ethan said. I know, Ayla whispered. I'm trying to remember the activation pattern. The temple's old systems. They recognize me. Ethan raised an eyebrow. You really spent too long here. She didn't answer. Her hand hovered over an ancient alien console, fingers, tracing symbols like piano keys. The pedestal lit up. A wall slid open, revealing a deep tunnel. Underground escape route, she said. But I'm warning you now, it's not just a tunnel. It's alive. Ethan gave her a look. Of course. It is, why wouldn't it be? They entered the tunnel. The walls were soft, breathing. Lights moved across the surface like veins glowing under skin. Behind them, the door closed. Not with a click, but with a shiver. Ethan checked the god spark again. Still stable. Yeah, Ayla said slowly, for now. She looked nervous, sweaty, eyes shifting too much. Ethan noticed. Something you want to say? She hesitated. No, she lied. They walked for 10 minutes in silence. The tunnel curved down like a spiral, deeper and deeper into the earth, or whatever this planet called Earth. Suddenly, the path opened into a wide circular room. Alien tech glowed on the walls. In the center, floating in the air, was a console, shaped like a ring of metal and crystal. It wasn't just a control room. It was a launch pad. What is this place? Ethan asked. Ayla stepped forward. This is where I almost activated it. The god spark? She nodded. But I stopped. Myself. I wasn't sure what it would do. Now, I think I know. Ethan raised his gun. Not at her. Just ready. I don't like your tone. She turned to face him. Her expression had changed, colder now. Sad, but sharp. Ethan. Earth can't have this. No one can. He narrowed his eyes. You've said that before. I meant it. She said softly. Then she pressed a button on her wrist. The god spark flew out of Ethan's hands. What the hell? He reached for it, but it floated straight into the console. Lights exploded across the room. Ayla raised her arms. "I'm sorry, Ethan. I never wanted to hurt you." "Oh no," he growled. "You don't get to apologize with a dramatic speech after stealing a reality-bending weapon." "I didn't steal it. I returned it." Ethan aimed the plasma pistol. "Explain. Now." Truth unlocked. Ayla's voice trembled. "I was never just a scientist. I worked for the Earth Coalition, yes. But secretly, I was sent here by the Preservation Group." Ethan blinked. "The what now?" "An old group," she said. "Hidden. Believing that Earth would destroy itself with too much power. I was sent to find the God Spark and lock it away forever. When my team found it, they didn't want to destroy it. They wanted to sell it." She looked away. "So I ran. I sent the distress signal hoping they'd come rescue me. Instead, Earth sent you." Ethan's hands tightened around his pistol. "You used me," he said. "I had no choice." "You always have a choice," he said coldly. "You chose to lie." A loud explosion echoed above them. The mercs had found the upper temple. Time was running out. Ethan stepped closer. "Shut it down." Now Ayla shook her head. "It's already linked to me. It's rewriting its safety protocols. Once it starts, no one else can use it. Then we leave," Ethan said. "We bury this whole place." She looked him in the eyes. "That won't work." Another deep boom. Dust rained from the ceiling. And then the room flickered. Colors shifted. The air felt heavy, like the moment before a lightning strike. The God Spark had begun activating. A strange echo filled the room, like voices. Ethan spun around, but there was no one, except himself. Standing at the edge of the room was another Ethan, same face, same jacket, but with a scar running down his neck. "What the hell, future?" Ethan smiled grimly. "Told you this thing rewrites time." Suddenly, everything clicked in Ethan's brain like a loaded gun. "You've already activated it," he said slowly. Ayla nodded. "That's how I knew the future. I've seen it, again and again. And in every version, Earth always uses the spark for war." Ethan looked at his future self. "Do I always come here?" Future Ethan nodded. "Yeah, you always try to stop her. You never do." Ayla whispered. "But this time, you can choose something different." Ethan aimed the pistol at the spark console. Future. Ethan didn't move. Ayla didn't blink. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. Bang. Ethan fired. Not at Ayla, not at the spark. At the ceiling. The entire chamber shook. "What are you doing?" Ayla screamed. "Changing the pattern," Ethan growled. He fired again. And again. Chunks of stone fell. The glowing walls began to crack. The floor trembled. Future Ethan faded away like smoke. Ethan grabbed Ayla. "If you want to bury this thing, we're doing it the old-fashioned way." They ran. The temple collapsed behind them. Stone, fire, light, gone. The spark, locked beneath it all. Maybe forever. They escaped out the tunnel just before it collapsed. The mercs were gone. The drones too. Wiped out in the quake. Ethan collapsed beside a rock, breathing hard, bleeding. Ayla sat beside him. "You could have shot me," she said. "Thought about it," he said, coughing. "But you didn't." "No, and I don't know if that was the right call." She looked at the stars above. "Neither do I." The ritual, the planet wasn't the same. After the collapse of the temple, something had changed in the air. The sky glowed too bright. The stars blinked too fast. The jungle had gone silent, like it was holding its breath. Ethan Riker limped through thick underbrush, Ayla helping him walk. His leg was wrapped in fabric, stained red. Every step was pain, but he didn't stop. Behind them, the ruined temple still smoldered, the God Spark buried somewhere deep below. Or so they thought. They reached a clearing. And that's when they saw it, the tribal aliens, waiting, watching. That this time, they weren't angry. They didn't hold spears. They didn't chant. They bowed. Ayla stepped forward, confused. Why are they? Ethan stopped her. They're not bowing to us. They were bowing to him, one of the elders, the same who'd led the fire pit. Ritual stepped forward. His body was covered in fresh markings, glowing green ink pulsing like veins. He pointed to Ethan and spoke a strange phrase. Ayla translated. He has touched the spark. He carries the memory. Ethan frowned. I didn't touch anything. The elder stepped closer and put a hand on Ethan's chest, right over his heart. You were inside the pattern, Ayla whispered. The spark chose you. Ethan scoffed. That's not comforting. They were led through the jungle, deeper than they'd ever gone. The trees changed, taller, covered in crystal moss. The ground sparkled underfoot. Finally, they reached a wide canyon. At the center was a glowing lake, but the water wasn't. Liquid. It looked like molten stars. A sacred site. A ritual ground. The aliens began to prepare. Ethan sat on a flat stone, sweating. His head pounded. He looked at Ayla. This feels like a setup. She shook her head. No, this is real. They believe you're part of the prophecy. Oh great, Ethan muttered. Prophecies. That always ends well. A tribal priest approached with a bowl. Inside was a silver paste. Ayla looked nervous. That's part of the ritual. They want you to see. See what? What they see. Ethan gave her a long look, then dipped his fingers into the bowl and smeared the paste across his face. The vision begins. Everything vanished. No light. No sound, only cold. Then, he was falling through space. No ship, no suit, just falling. Stars zipped past like bullets. He saw flashes. Earth cities burning, oceans boiling, spaceships collapsing mid-warp. He saw himself, younger, older, dead, alive. He saw Ayla screaming. He saw himself holding the spark, and the universe folding around him. He heard a voice, not human, not alien, something beyond. You are the fracture. You are the repair. He woke up screaming. The aliens didn't move. They were waiting. Ethan gasped. What the hell was that? Ayla knelt beside him. You saw it, didn't you? He nodded, shaking. I saw everything. Then you understand, she whispered. Why it must stay buried. He looked at the priest. Why show me all that? The elder spoke again. Ayla translated. Because you must choose. Choose what? To become guardian or destroyer. The ritual wasn't just for visions. It was for judgment. Only the one who saw the full truth could decide. Bury this spark forever, or use it to shape the galaxy. Ethan stood slowly. I'm not a god. I'm not a prophet. I'm just a guy with a limp and bad coffee breath. Ayla smiled faintly. But now you know what happens if the wrong person finds it. He looked at her. Do I become the wrong person? You could, she said, but you didn't. That night, Ethan sat alone near the glowing lake. The stars above swirled unnaturally, like they knew what was coming. He stared into the lake, into the molten starlight, and whispered, I don't want this. And the water whispered back, but it wants you. The enemy returns the ground. Shook. From the jungle edge, a dark shape emerged. Not mercs. Not tribal aliens, the machine. The same AI enforcer from before. Now repaired, upgraded, larger, angrier. It scanned the ritual site, then aimed its weapons. Returned the spark. It boomed. Ethan stepped forward. We don't have it. Incorrect. A panel on the machine opened, revealing a live feed from inside the temple ruins. The god spark was gone. Ethan looked at Ayla. Did you move it? She shook her head, terrified. It moved itself, she whispered. The priest pointed. Again, this time at Ethan's chest. It's inside you, Ayla realized. Ethan staggered back. That's impossible. No, you were exposed to it during the collapse. The spark merged with your memory. He was no longer just Ethan. He was now a carrier of the spark's code. The machine took a step forward. Subject is confirmed. Initiating extraction. Lasers charged. Ethan whispered. I don't want this power, Ayla replied. Then you have only one choice. The fight for the future. The aliens attacked first, spears, firebombs, chanting war cries. Machine unleashed hell. Burning beams, sonic blasts, smoke and ruin. Ethan ran through the chaos. Not away, toward the enemy. The spark inside him woke up. His skin glowed faintly. His vision sharpened. Time slowed. He dodged a laser, jumped over debris, reached the machine, pulled out the same blade he used back at the fire pit, and stabbed it into the machine's power core. Boo, oh A shockwave blasted across the canyon. The lake hissed. The jungle screamed, and the machine, gone. Silence. The next morning, the tribe gathered again. Ethan stood on the edge of the canyon. His leg hurt. His body ached, but his mind was clear. I'm leaving it here, he said. The spark, the power, all of it, Ayla nodded. They'll protect it. He looked at her. And you? She smiled. Someone needs to stay and make sure you don't change your mind. Final scene. Ethan walks into the jungle alone. The tribal elder watches from a distance. A voice echoes softly, not heard, but felt. The guardian has chosen, but the future is still watching. The others had started with a shadow in the sky. A silent dot. Then a hum. Then the clouds parted. And the Earth fleet arrived. 4 massive ships, military class. Dark steel armor, plasma core engines, glowing blue lights under their wings. They didn't send a message. They didn't ask permission. They just came from the jungle cliff. Ethan and Ayla watched them descend. He didn't blink. They're early. She narrowed her eyes. Or they've been watching this whole time. The largest ship, the EC's Valiant, hovered over the valley like a god. A beam of light stretched down from its belly, scanning the jungle floor. Ethan gripped his weapon. That's a harvest beam. They're not here to negotiate. Ayla stepped back. I told them it was too dangerous. I begged them not to come. Ethan looked at her. You contacted them? She hesitated. I sent a data burst last week, just in case we didn't make it out. I thought I was warning them. Ethan's eyes turned cold. You sent them a warning. They saw it as an invitation. Within minutes, drop pods slammed into the ground. Troops marched out. Not mercenaries. This time, elite Earth units, polished armor, perfect formations. Controlled, cold, professional. And at the front, a man in a black uniform, golden stripes on his shoulders. General Kale Voss. Ethan's stomach dropped. Of course it's him. You know him? Ayla asked. Yeah, Ethan muttered. He was my commanding officer. Until I quit his suicide squad and left him holding the mess. Voss looked around the jungle with disgust. Charming vacation spot. He spoke into a communicator. Find the spark. I want full scans, deep drill probes, and if the locals resist, use non-lethal force. If they kill one of ours, burn them. Operation. Claim the unknown. While Ethan and Ayla watched from the trees, Earth soldiers began scanning everything, cutting into ancient trees, forcing drones into underground tunnels, interrogating tribal leaders with translation implants. One soldier even punched the priest. Ayla gasped. They'll start a war. They already have, Ethan growled. She grabbed his arm. We have to do something. He looked at her. You still have the data core? She nodded. Everything. Spark research, visions, the prophecy, all of it. Then we get to the uplink tower. They snuck through the jungle, dodging patrols. The tribal aliens were retreating into caves, deeper forests, watching, learning. And waiting. Ethan and Ayla reached an old alien tower with human tech patched into it. A hybrid uplink relay. Still works, she said. Ethan nodded. Let's tell the truth. They activated the signal. A burst of light shot into the sky. The truth goes, Viral across the Earth fleet, screens lit up with Ethan's face. This is Riker, former HFY operative. If you're hearing this, you're part of an invasion. You're standing on sacred ground. The spark doesn't belong to Earth. It's not a weapon. It's not a resource. It's a choice. And Earth? You already made yours. General Voss saw the broadcast. His jaw tightened. Jam that signal. Find Riker. Bring me his head. Back in the jungle, Ethan and Ayla ran. The broadcast had made them targets. Soldiers closed in. Drones followed. But something else did too. The air began to warp. A shadow moved through the trees. But it wasn't a person. It wasn't an alien dot. It was a holographic echo. A digital ghost dot. It took shape near Ayla, flickering with a strange, almost human voice. You uploaded me. She stopped. That's impossible. The spark, or a part of it, had survived the collapse. Not as a weapon. As a living memory. It knew her. And it had a message. I have chosen. Revelation time. They found safety in a deep cave. System. Hidden, quiet. That's where Ethan faced the final truth. I felt different since the ritual, he said. Ayla scanned him with the alien device. What she found made her drop it. You're not just carrying the spark, she whispered. It's inside your cells. It's rewriting you. Not killing, integrating. Ethan laughed, bitter. So what? I'm becoming. What? Some prophet? A space USB stick? No, she said, voice shaking. You're becoming one of the others. Ethan went quiet. The others? He asked. Ayla nodded. The first humans. Whoever found this planet. Long before Earth's history. The spark didn't kill them. It changed them. They became the Watchers, the Guardians. Ethan touched his chest. So I'm not just part of the fight. I am the spark's backup. Plan. Ayla looked terrified. They'll never let you live. The tension breaks. Explosion. The cave wall blew open. Earth soldiers rushed in. Ethan grabbed Ayla. Go. I'll hold them. She shook her head. Not again. I'm staying. Then we both die. No, said another voice. Voss, standing in the smoke. He aimed a weapon. Not at Ethan, at Ayla. She's the problem, Voss said coldly. Without her, the spark has no guide. Ayla stepped forward. You don't understand what you're messing with. I don't need to understand. I just need to control it. He fired, but the beam stopped in midair. Frozen. The cave filled with white light. Ethan's skin glowed. His eyes burned silver. Spoke in a voice that echoed with 10,000 years of memory. You are not welcome here. And in a flash, Voss and his soldiers were gone, not dead. Displaced, somewhere else in time. Ayla collapsed to the floor, crying. You didn't mean to do that. Ethan stood still, breathing hard. No, he whispered. But it wasn't just me. The final realization, they emerged from the cave. Above them, the Earth fleet began to leave. Something had scared them. The spark had spoken, and it had spoken through Ethan Riker. The jungle was calm again. The tribes reappeared. The machines disappeared. Ethan looked at Ayla. I'm not human anymore. She shook her head. You're more. And less. You're what comes next. Final scene. Ethan stands at the same cliff he once escaped from. He watches a new structure being built by the aliens, half temple, half tech tower. It hums in rhythm with his heartbeat. He places his hand on the stone. His voice is low. I thought I was here to save someone, but maybe I was here to stop everyone else. The choice. 1 week later, Ethan Riker stood at the top of the tower. The alien sky above him shimmered with 2 suns. The wind whispered in a voice only he could understand. His eyes had changed. They no longer reflected Earth. They reflected the spark. Below, the new temple pulsed with light. Alien tech merged with human design. A peace had formed, fragile, strange, but real. The Earth fleet had retreated. General Voss? Vanished, displaced. and no one had heard from him since, but the spark still remained. And it wasn't silent. Ayla climbed the last steps to the tower. She looked tired, haunted. She carried a data core, the last copy of Earth's knowledge about the spark. "I have it," she said quietly. "Everything. Their research, their lies, their fears." Ethan turned slowly, his voice calm. Almost too calm. "You're going to destroy it?" She nodded. "I have to. Earth can't be trusted." Ethan looked at the jungle below. "And what about me?" She didn't answer right away. "You're not Earth anymore," she finally said. "Not really." He nodded, "But I still remember it. Every city, every war, every mistake." The spark began to glow in his chest. Not painfully, not violently, just waiting. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't a virus. It was a key. One that could unlock a better future or lock the galaxy in fire. And now, only Ethan could make the final decision. The offer that night, he dreamt of the others. Not the aliens, not the Earth soldiers, but the first spark bearers. Long before Earth was Earth. Tall beings of light and memory. They didn't speak in words. They showed possibilities. In one path, Ethan returns to Earth. He becomes a guide, a leader. The spark heals the planet. War ends. People evolve. In another path, Earth sees him as a threat. They try to kill him. The spark defends itself. Millions die. Humanity falls. In the third path, he stays on the planet, becomes the first guardian of this world. He disappears from Earth's memory, but protects the spark forever. And finally, a fourth path. He lets the spark choose for itself. No control, no power, no guide. He releases it into the galaxy. Free. He woke with sweat on his skin and fire in his bones. Ayla sat nearby. She had been watching him sleep. "You dreamed," she said. "I saw the future," he replied. "All of them?" "Yes." She looked at the spark pulsing in his chest. "So what do you choose?" He looked at her. "That's the problem. Every choice breaks something." One last betrayal just before dawn. They were ambushed. Not by soldiers. By Earth's backup team. A final ship, cloaked and quiet, landed near the temple. They had been waiting for the others to fail, waiting to pick up the pieces. Led by a new figure, Agent Lynn Saris. Earth intelligence. Smart, sharp, heart like ice. She entered the temple with quiet confidence. "You don't have to fight us," she told Ethan. "We don't want the spark." He tilted his head. "Then what do you want?" "You," she said. "To lead the next stage of human evolution on our terms." Ethan didn't answer. Not right away. He stared at the flame-lit faces of the tribal aliens standing behind him. He looked at Ayla, eyes full of fear and loyalty. Then he looked at the stars. "No," he said finally. Agent Lynn raised a small black device. "That's unfortunate." The failsafe activated. Pain ripped through Ethan's body. The spark screamed. His knees hit the ground. "They put something in you," Ayla gasped. "Failsafe nanits," Lynn said calmly. "Insurance, just in case you forgot who made you." But they had forgotten one thing. The spark had grown, and it wasn't alone. The final surge. Ethan's body lit up. His scream echoed through time. The spark inside him awakened. Not just memory now. Consciousness. It spoke through him, in a voice that shook the temple walls. "You cannot control what is not yours." Light exploded in all directions. The failsafe melted. Agent Lynn vanished in a beam of white. Ethan collapsed. Ayla caught him. Shaking, "Ethan, stay with me." He opened his eyes slowly. "You okay?" she asked. He looked at her, smiled faintly. "I made my choice." The resolution. The spark had merged with the planet. It no longer needed a bearer. It was free. Earth would never control it. The galaxy would never weaponize it. But it remembered Ethan. He had become more than a soldier, more than a man. He had become a filter, a test. And he passed. 1 year later. The jungle is calm. The temple stands. Beautiful, alive. Ayla remains, now known as the Whisperer, protecting the site, guiding those who come with questions, not greed. And Ethan? Some say he vanished. Some say he watches from the stars. Some say he became the spark itself. But sometimes, in the glow of the moon, the jungle whispers his name. Final scene. A child from the tribe walks to the altar, touching the stone. He hears a voice, soft, calm, familiar. The future is not a weapon. It's a question, and your answer is the only thing that matters.